Good morning everyone, welcome back to this week's garden update. And I'm telling you, it's much cooler out here this morning than it has been over this last week. Oh my goodness, it has been pretty intense. So I haven't actually spent a lot of time out here in the garden, maybe a few early mornings and late evenings, but I did still manage to get a few jobs done. I would say that they were mainly preparing areas to install new raised garden beds. Also this week we'll take a look at a bunch of new flowers in bloom, including a couple of pretty dahlias. So let's get into it now. What a difference 5 weeks, lots of rain and higher temperatures makes to this garden. To think this area got flattened by the storm back then, it's just made a full recovery. There's a couple of new dahlias flowering down here in this bed, starting off with this gorgeous one called Sugartown Sunrise. There's another one over here. You can see the petals are a lemon yellow and pale pink. I think it's a really lovely colour combination, a very romantic looking flower. And check out all of the buds. I've counted about 12 of them. I'm going to have a big influx of these blooms very shortly, just in time for Christmas, so should be able to give some away, a few little garden posies as gifts. And we take another little step back. You can barely see the cage that I made out of the wire mesh, but one thing I have noted in my mind is that I may need to make them a little bit larger for the tubers that are a bit more established. So this tuber in here is about 3 years old, and I do find that while the cage is holding the foliage and stems up very well, it seems to be quite compact. If you take a look down here, there's not really much room for airflow at all, and I feel like airflow is very important for plant health. So dahlias in general are susceptible to a couple of fungal diseases. Having all of this foliage so densely packed together in combination with the high humidity we've been experiencing over the last few days, it does make this plant prone to some fungal diseases such as powdery mildew. So I may come in here and try and loosen this cage, widen it a little bit, just to give it a bit more breathing room. Just beside that one I have another beauty called Dahlia My Love. I'm going to have quite a few of these flowers popping up around the garden because I divided the tuber up a couple of months ago. I really like them. It's my only white flowering dahlia, so I do appreciate it very much. And towering over that one is this giant plant. One of the flowers is just starting to open. Another dahlia, it's a semi-cactus one. It's got this beautiful bright yellow colour, very vivid. This is called Red Kapler. I think the colour is going to really pop once this amaranthus down here, which I believe is a velvet curtain, probably, I'm not 100% sure because it was just self-seeded, but once that fills out this space with its lovely purple type foliage and flowers or tassels, these flowers will just be a real eye catcher. And then there's also a couple of salvias, a nice blue one there, that's some tansy, got a few blooms. These are my Shasta daisy. Remember I divided up the clump I had to a few different spots. I think actually I might have put 2 clumps in here because there's this little patch, only a few flowers at the moment, and then one over there. And oh my goodness, I've got borage popping up everywhere. I don't mind it in some spots, but it can really start to take over. And then there's this beautiful pink salvia. I'll see if I can find the tag. Can't remember what this one's called, but it's got a lot of flowers on it at the moment. Some of these gladiolus in the ground, and they had only just started to sprout when the storm hit. Here's another one. I think because there was only such a small amount of this plant that had popped through the ground back then, they just weren't very badly damaged at all, and they were able to continue to grow. And today I'm able to enjoy a few of them, not as many as I'd hoped because I had bought quite a lot of corms. I'm really pleased with how this mulberry tree is looking. This tree has two main trunks coming out of the ground. You can see one just here. Unfortunately, when the storm hit, it damaged the top off both of them, so I had to come in and cut off the parts that had snapped in half. But if we take a closer look, see all these new fresh shoots coming off, and that's what's causing this kind of fuller, bushier look, which I think I prefer to what it looked like pre-storm. I've been really looking forward to showing you this. About a week and a half ago, I received a package in the mail. It was from Down Under Veggie Garden Diaries. I'll put a link below to the YouTube channel. Oh my goodness. I was sent all of these amazing succulents, some of which I have never seen before. There was also these cacti in the pack as well. I've just popped them all into the same container until they start to root. I do need to do a bit of research. I know I probably shouldn't have put all these different varieties in the same spot. They probably have different requirements, but for the moment, to get them started, I'm going to put them in here. I just absolutely love them. It was such a generous gift. Thank you so much, Down Under Veggie Garden Diaries. You are very generous. I've always thought that gardeners are such a caring bunch, and for you to share your succulent and cacti collection with me, it just really warms my heart. Thank you. Hi Snowflake. We're now over beside the Monty Don inspired jewel garden. It's greener and more lush as every week passes, and more colour is beginning to appear. Got lots of the Bright Lights Cosmos in this kind of orange colour, and there's some yellow ones too. There's a lot of different types of flowers in here, some Australian natives, Cosmos, Dahlias, what else, Cannas, Salvias and cone flowers, and a few random tomato plants that just popped up. I haven't pulled this one out yet. Some of them I don't mind leaving, and others I just worry that they'll dominate the space, so I'll have to wait and see with this one. But look at the cone flowers, lots of buds on them. Oh, look at this, there's even a couple of poppies as well. I'm not sure which poppies they are. That will be a bit of a surprise. Oh, and I have straw flowers. Well, I did mention I had natives. How pretty is that one? It's so beautiful. Oh, come on, focus. Pinky purple. Purple, more like purple, purplish red. There's actually another self-seeder in here, past the Verbena bonariensis. It's another amaranthus. This one is hot biscuit, and I'm really happy to see that this one was a hot biscuit. It's hard to tell when they're smaller because you're not sure what colour the tassel leaf flowers are going to be. But actually this spot is where I had some of these blooms last year, and I think this one will look lovely in this spot, and it's actually at the back of the bed, so we'll add a nice backdrop against all the different colours that are going to be coming through very soon. I just want to spin around this way because I do, being a cottage garden, I do also like to put in edibles mixed with you know, ornamentals. So this here, that's a eggplant. I think it's a fairy tale eggplant. And then I have some really nice marigolds. These are the African marigolds. They get up to 60 centimeters. And then look at this, more buds. This is a new dahlia to me this year. I can't remember exactly which one this is. That's why I'm laughing to myself. I'm terrible with dahlia names. I'll see if I can find the tag for this one, or I'll probably have a better idea once more of them open up, or they open up fully, and I'll be able to figure out what they are. Do you know, I mixed up some of my seedlings. A bit of a mistake down here now. There are a lot of weeds, but if we take a look at this, that is a Californian poppy right down here. I was meant to put a dill in here, and I got the two bunches of plants mixed up. So where I'm meant to have the dill are these ones, and where the Californian poppies are the dill. And it's going to be a little bit of an issue down here because they don't get very tall, so they are going to get swamped out and you won't be able to see them far back. So I may just pull that out and put something else there in its place. I'm in the fan garden now. It's certainly not looking as pretty in this little spot that I'm showing you, but I do want to give you an update on what I've been working on. So I can't quite remember what I showed you last Friday, but this is what's happening now. So I've got 2 new beds put together. I filled one up. Still need to obviously fill this one up, but I'm also going to put an extra bed in this area too. So I've been gathering up my cardboard, laying it down to smother out the weeds, and I do have a few more of these beds to assemble. There's 4 more. I'm going to show you where I'm going to put some of them now in a sec, but one of them will be going in here. Down here is the other area where I'm going to put 2 more beds. So I've also been laying out more cardboard to smother out any of the grass and weeds. Over here is some of the debris from the storm that I've been chopping up, a lot of branches and, you know, dead foliage. I still need to chop this up a lot more and get it closer to the ground. The reason why I've done this is because I'm trying to do like a no dig bed. So I've got the cardboard, got your carbon or your brown material here. Gonna chop that up, add some compost, manures, straw, etc. And then I'm probably gonna put in maybe some pumpkins. I hear the girls coming over to say hi. They like this new little thoroughfare over to their chicken coop. The raised beds I had mentioned, I'm going to put 2 more of them in here either side. I'm going to put in an archway using some of this mesh to give it a bit more width and support, and then I'm going to grow maybe some beans or other climbing crop up that. Those areas where I've been putting down lots of cardboard, I found a lot of self-seeded plants, including a heap of these cucamelons. So I've dug them all up. I actually did this about a week and a half ago. I don't think I got a chance to show you these, but they're looking nice and healthy, and I won't be planting them all back in my garden. I will be sharing these with my friends because it is quite an interesting plant to grow. And then here we have some spider plants too. These are all pink. I love them, and they do well here in this part of New South Wales. Not a native, but you know, they still grow nicely. I'm taking advantage of all the rain we were getting this year. I'm just going all out with the flowers. So I'll be using all these up somewhere where I can find a blank spot. I've sown a lot more seeds. Oh, too many to mention. Actually, there's a lot more surrounding me at the moment. I'll quickly show you them. So these are some zinnias. Oh, these are just sunflower zinnias. What am I looking at with the paper daisies? Bunch of stuff here. Yeah, more paper daisies. Love them. Oh, and I did have to sow the Black Beauty tomato again because the Black Beauty tomato plant disappeared on me. Oh well, I've still got lots of time to grow more of them. And then all of these are seedlings which I have been potting up. So more zinnias, canary yellows. I might put them in the dual garden. Rebecca's, more zinnias, more sunflowers, more black-eyed Susans. Just heaps of stuff. Obviously I don't have room for them all, but I like having that option. It's like my little personal nursery. So if I find an area that needs some plants, I just come over here and see what I can rummage. These are the globe amaranths. Oh guys, look at this. This is the furthest I have ever got with growing pilly buttons. Look at them. They're a decent size now. I think I've tried to grow these for about 3 years and I fail every time, but I'm not giving up. And these are bigger than I've ever seen them before, so that's awesome. It just keeps on going, honestly. This is some basil, opal basil, beautiful purple colour. I think this one's lemon basil. Growing a few different types of basils this year. I've got way too many of these plants, but you know what, I like having the extras, as I said. Another tray of little plants. These ones are, do you remember I sowed the Celosia Forest Fire? Got a few of them. And then these are all the Mexican sunflowers. Thanks so much for watching until the end. It really is my goal now to try and have those beds filled up and potentially planted up too before next Friday. Although I don't really want to put too much pressure on myself because we are into pre-Christmas now, only about a week or so to go, and you know what that's like, it can get very busy this time of year, so I'll try and do a little bit every day and see what happens. Anyway, I hope you all have a great week. I'll see you again next Friday.